All right, boys and girls, this has gotten ugly. The Saints are so banged up, but huge game against the Atlanta Falcons this Sunday. I believe the all-time record between the two teams is on the line as well. I think each team has like 55 wins each. But Atlanta Falcons 1-2 coming into this game, coming off a tough loss against the defending champs, the Chiefs, and that's a game they played well in. Definitely played well enough to win, but Saints coming off a loss that they should not have lost, right? That game against the Eagles, that was just such a disgusting loss, man. To have win the turnover battle, get a blocked punt, two failed fourth downs, and it's in the past. But that's a horrible loss against the Eagles. Anyways, Saints coming into this thing 2-1, Falcons 1-2. Huge game. Obviously, it's a divisional game, but it also means the difference in being the Saints being 3-1, which sounds really nice, by the way, or being 2-2. But more importantly, it means the difference between the Falcons being 2-2 and 1-3. And I think everybody here would agree it would be much better if they are 1-3 than 2-2, because again, 2-2, if they win, then we're 2-2, division's tied, right? We don't want that. We want to beat them, but it's going to be tough. The Saints have so many injuries right now. I mean, it's like all the voodoo was used on the first 2 weeks of the season because let's jump over here to this injury report. I mean, this is just brutal stuff. Like, Derek Carr is on the injury report. Obviously, he's going to play. He practiced full. Taysom Hill, who missed last week, obviously they missed him so much on offense, but it looks like he's good to go. But he's still showing up on the injury report. Obviously, not 100%, right? DeMarco Jackson, Colin Saunders, who we still have not seen yet this year. He did practice fully, though. Landon Young is on here. He was limited on Wednesday and then practiced fully on Thursday and Friday. That's huge because he's going to be starting, right? They have nobody else. Landon Young, he's on the injury report, but he's going to be starting. Alante Taylor looks like he was sick earlier in the week, but he looks like he's good to go. Thank God. Um, but another huge one, the biggest one, Demario Davis. This will be the first time I believe that Demario Davis misses a game in his entire career, other for injury. Like I think he missed one because of COVID, but other than that, he's been like an Iron Man throughout his career. So the fact that he is missing this game, it sucks, right? Um, Obviously for him, but because he is the Saints defensive leader, he calls the shots on defense and he is an elite player even at the age of, what is he, 35 years old now. Huge loss to Mario Davis. Alvin Kamara got banged up last week, didn't practice Wednesday, returned in a limited fashion on Thursday and Friday. He's questionable, but he'll probably go if I were to guess. But again, not 100%. So, but what can he do? Nobody really is um, in the NFL at all times. Cesar Ruiz, out, right? Hurt his knee, did not practice, did not practice, did not practice. He has already been ruled out. So if you're keeping count now, and this thing doesn't even have Eric McCoy on there because he's on IR, they're going to be without Eric McCoy and Cesar Ruiz. So that means the whole entire offensive line is going to look different. We'll talk about that here in a second. A.T. Perry did not practice. He's out. We haven't even seen him yet this season. It looks like Mason Tipton kind of stole his job. I don't know if he's been banged up all year or what, but it looks like Mason Tipton has kind of assumed that wide receiver three spot. Maybe they think he's a better blocker. I don't know. But he'll get some work because Cedric Wilson Jr., another part of the wide receiver depth, did not practice on Friday. He was limited on Thursday, and he's questionable. Who knows if he'll be able to go? And then I guess today in practice, Chris Olave hurt his hamstring, and he was limited, and he is now questionable. So, I mean, right there, Chris Olave, Cedric Wilson Jr., and A.T. Perry, that's three of the Saints receivers that are banged up in some way or another. And of course, A.T. Perry already being out. I mean, my God, that's a mouthful right there. I mean, what can you even say? Cesar Ruiz. So if I would have had to guess, the offensive line is probably going to look something like Fuaga at left tackle. Left guard, you probably get Udo. If that's even how you say his name, I've never heard his name pronounced right. So if that's not how you say his name, I apologize to you, my friend. But Udo at left tackle, or at left guard. Center will probably be Lucas Patrick again, right? Who filled in for McCoy last week. And then right guard now will probably be either Landon Young or Nick Saldiveri. And then right tackle will be Trevor Penning. Oh boy, that is tough. That right side is going to get absolutely demolished. I mean, it did last week even with Cesar Ruiz in there. So it's going to be a tough game, man. And then the Falcons, I mean, they're not without injury as well. Caleb McGarry, their tackle, that's a good player. Knee did not practice this week, and he is out for the game. So that's a huge loss for them as well. Judon was limited, but he was a full practice today. And then, of course, David Onyemata did not practice, but who knows? I don't know, man. Obviously, the Saints got it worse than the Falcons right now. What can you say? It is what it is. This will be a huge game for Dennis Allen and co. I mean, to get out here and get a win with all of these injuries, all the adversity against you after that tough, disgusting loss that they took last week, this will probably be one of the biggest wins of his coaching career, might I say? I don't know. Um, but hopefully they can pull through, get a win because, like I said before, 3-1 sure does look a lot better than you know 2-1 or 2-2, excuse me. But I appreciate you guys watching. Peace.